Should I sell my home on market or off market? What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us today. Whether you're buying or selling in Sherman Oaks, California, buying or selling in Studio City, California, or buying and selling in Encino, California, one big question that always comes up is, should I list my home on the MLS or should I sell it off market? Today, we're breaking down the MLS versus off market debate and why it matters more than ever. You've probably heard terms like pocket listings in Sherman Oaks, or asked, does Compass have exclusive listings? And most recently, Zillow bans pocket listings. So we're going to explain to you how all these strategies are working, what is going on, including what does clear cooperation mean, or how does clear cooperation work, and what was this ban all about. And if you're wondering, are off-market homes cheaper, or how to find off-market homes, you're in the right place. So let's dive into it. All right, guys, so let's talk about the first debate. Should I sell my home on market or off market? So first of all, this is a personal choice, right? The reality of it is your broker who you hire has limitations on what they can do to market your house based on something called clear cooperation that we will get into shortly. But the reality of it is, by and large, you as the homeowner should have the ultimate choice in how you decide to sell or market your home, okay? There is no one size fits all strategy for all buyers, for all sellers on the marketplace, okay? There may be sellers that need privacy. There may be sellers that have a certain type of home in a certain price range and they want to keep days on the market low. They want to create exclusivity. They want control over the marketplace, not some portal like Zillow. So what happens when you put the property into the MLS? You put it in the MLS, it syndicates to Zillow, all the photos and information are out there, and of course, the clock is starting to tick. When that clock ticks and the house has been on the market for 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days, at that point in time where people start to question the value of your house. So a lot of people want to actually keep the house off market and do not want their home, the value to be deflated by days on the market or other factors that show up when the property is in the MLS. Now, let's talk about some of the reasons for being on the MLS. So obviously, what does being in the MLS do? Okay, so by and large, being in the MLS means that your property is being syndicated through the MLS to third-party websites using a platform or service called ListHub. I think there's a couple other out there. And what it does is it's like a cannon, it just shoots your listing everywhere. So any real estate portal, any of them, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Redfin, Homes.com, whatever you can come up with, anywhere in the world where they have a license to get the IDX feed from the MLSs will display your listing. So obviously, going into the MLS is going to maximize the exposure of your house tremendously. So for certain properties in certain locations, price ranges, let's say it's a trust sale, mom passed away and we're getting the house ready for sale and there's multiple beneficiaries. Obviously, it's going to be better, the best interest of the beneficiaries, to expose it into put it in the MLS and expose it fully to the market. Let's even look at the probate court. The probate code mandates the sale terms to be posted in the MLS and marketed for a certain period of time before offers will be accepted. Now, why are they doing that? They're doing that to protect the decedent. No, if an administrator who doesn't know what they're doing lists the house with a realtor who doesn't know what they're doing, then all the beneficiaries are gonna suffer. Obviously, it requires court confirmation. It's ultimately going to go to court confirmation, but at the end of the day, it's got to get that exposure for the benefit of the beneficiary. So as you can see here, there's no one size fits all. All right, so that's kind of the pros and cons of not being in the MLS. Let's go back to not being in the MLS again. Right? Not being in the MLS does not mean you cannot sell your house. This is there's rules against certain marketing that takes place, but if your property is listed at a big brokerage that has access to a lot of agents and a lot of buyers, you can get a lot of serious interested buyers to come to your house. Here's the problem, right? So let's say you get an offer on your house. You are not going to have the benefit of knowing how much you would have gotten if you would have gone in the MLS. You have to weigh the benefit of the privacy that you seek, or the control over the days of the market, or the exclusivity against what I could have gotten if I had put my house on the market. Again, that should be a personal choice. But let's talk about clear cooperation. All right. So first of all, what is clear cooperation? So the National Association of Realtors, who we all know was under fire recently for its collusion and its anti-trade, anti-competitive practices of controlling commissions, has been under fire for multiple things. There was that, and then of course there's clear cooperation, which is also on the line. And that was enacted by NAR in 2000. May 1st of 2020 is when NAR voted and signed in clear cooperation. And largely, they did that because they wanted to control the listings so that they can have the benefit for more agents. The more agents they could help, the more agents would sign up for NAR, the more dues they would get. You get the picture. What are the reasons for clear cooperation? We just talked about that a little bit. Let's talk about the rules. Once a property is publicly marketed in any way, so outside of the brokerage, if I send out an e-blast, if I put it on a private listing portal, if I do a social media post, if I go to a networking meeting and I'm talking to agents at other brokerages, that triggers a requirement that I put the property in the MLS within 1 business day. And what that ultimately does is it makes sure that every real estate agent has a chance to see the listing. And their argument, of course, is that by doing that, they're going to get more buyers to your door. What they're not seeing, what some of the people watching this video are seeing, is they're trying to tell you how you get to market your home. And that's up for debate, but some would argue, including me, that that's not right. The seller should get to choose how they do it. The benefits, of course, are to the real estate agents who are members of NAR, but the benefits to you as the homeowner is, of course, let's go back for a second. There's a low bar for getting a real estate license. Let's just be honest. There's a low bar for getting a real estate license. The state of California wants to get, and all states in the United States, they want to get the revenue from all the licensing fees. They want to create commerce, etc. But the bar to get in is very, very low. And you do have unscrupulous brokers out there that will take listings and will sell it to their friend, the builder Bob, because they're going to get the listing on the way out. Or somebody in their firm or somebody on Caravan said, hey, I have a buyer, and boom, before you know it, an offer gets accepted way lower than it should be, and all of a sudden the house is under contract and it's sold under market. Now obviously that was good luck to that buyer who wound up getting the property, but the question is did that marginalize the seller's ability to get money? And many people say yes. In fact, if you look at the California Association of Realtors, what they did is they modified the listing agreement. So there's a whole page on the MLS, a whole page that says, dear Mr. or Mr. Mrs., Mrs., if you don't put your house in the MLS, the exposure is being limited, blah, blah, blah. Now, believe it or not, even to this day, there's still a lot of people that are not fully reading all of their contracts. And yes, that's their fault. But what can they do to make sure that we actually get these properties in the MLS? And that would be to force it through this clear cooperation. The consequences of clear cooperation. Now that is basically up for debate, but the consequences of the clear cooperation is that if I want my house to get a certain amount of exposure, I got to put it in the MLS. So I'm limited to how much marketing my broker could do when it's off the market. If they can't do e-blasts, they can't do private listing groups, they can't do the top agent networks, they can't really expose it to a wider audience of agents across LA unless they do the MLS coming soon, which we'll talk about later. So it really limits, my ability as a seller, your ability as a seller to get information out there to more agents unless it goes in the MLS. Okay? Buyers. The benefit to you, of course, is that you get to see all the listings that come out, okay? So clear cooperation in theory is good for the buyer. I can't think of any scenario where it is bad for the buyer, right? If all properties are forced into the MLS, all buyers have a chance to look at everything, they don't miss any opportunities, and they know about it, right? But even under clear cooperation, properties are bought and sold off market all the time. It's just the marketing is limited. Let's talk about Zillow and the portal wars. What happened with Zillow when Zillow said Zillow bans pocket listings? So Zillow had a really strong reaction to what Compass and some of the larger brokerages are doing. Like what we're doing as an agency, or what brokerages like Compass, Anywhere, all the other brokerages that are out there are recognizing the fact that in most markets, coming soon open marketing has its benefits, right? We want to be in a position, like, you're not going to make a $200 million movie, put it in the theater on Friday, and then start marketing it, are you? No, you're going to start marketing it out to the public to let people know that coming Friday is this great movie, so that when you have the grand opening, you've got a sellout. It's the same concept in real estate. We are trying to get people informed about your property before it goes onto the market, so that, not so that we can undersell it. Now, that's a misconception. Now, if that's a strategy that the seller wants, they can do that. But the reality is, we're just trying to get information. We're trying to get people to come to the property. I had this amazing house in the hills of Sherman Oaks on Valley Meadow Road. It had water damage. It was a fixer. Didn't know what to do. I had it, like, talked to a few people about it, came over to the house. No one wanted to do anything. Really did not know where to price it or what to do based on the physical condition of the property. We put it on Compass Private Exclusive, and boom, I had phone call after phone call of people and agents coming to the house, offers that were getting written, discussion points, people talking about why their buyer would do this or why their buyer would do that. Think about how valuable that is for the seller. So then we just went back to the trustee and we gave them all the information, and they ultimately just decided a strategy that was best for them based on the information that they got. And that ultimately resulted in they're having a wildly successful sale because they priced it properly. They got all the information, and they ultimately did go to the market. So what Zillow said, and Zillow's fear is that they're losing control of the market, right? With clear cooperation in place, absent companies like Compass Anywhere and some of these other brokerages doing these, coming soon or private exclusive type marketing, Zillow knows that they're going to get all that stuff. So they came out and said, we're going to have to ban private listings. We're going to have to, put up some measure in place that penalizes us if we don't put your listing into the MLS. Now, for clarification purposes, we are still allowed, as long as we comply with the terms of clear cooperation, we are allowed to privately market your home to our individual brokerages, right? And I happen to work with Compass. So they have access to thousands of Compass agents in Los Angeles, by the way, are very high producing. So you can still pre-market your home to them, get feedback, sell it off market if you want, or just use that feedback for pricing and then put it in the MLS. So Zillow, and of course some of the news outlets covered this, Zillow bans pocket listings, and there was some confusion. But the reality is, as long as you are in compliance with clear cooperation, you can stick with this strategy. Compass three-phase marketing is still in place. And while we're at it, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So Compass three-phase marketing is, we go private exclusive on Compass's platform for about 7 days, 10 days, a month, as long as you want. Then we drop it into coming soon. So by putting it on coming soon, we are the author of your listing. It means Compass's website and your listing itself has a higher response to the SEO and the algorithms on Google. It'll increase the chances that real people are calling me instead of calling some agent who doesn't know your property. And then within 1 day, boom, you go into the MLS. So as you can see, there are a lot of different things to cover and think about with off-market, on-market, clear cooperation, Zillow versus not Zillow. But in the end of the day, it's up to you. Okay, so here at Alan Taylor Real Estate Group, we help buyers and sellers in Encino, Sherman Oaks, and Studio City navigate these policies in the marketplace with confidence. If you're selling and you'd like to decide whether a Compass exclusive, an off-market approach, or a full MLS approach is best for you, please don't hesitate to give us a call. And if you're buying, we'll show you how to access off-market homes in Sherman Oaks before anyone else. And this will be through either the private exclusive or just our relationships that we've got. I mean, believe it or not, even though agents are not supposed to tell other agents from other companies, they do. This is a relationship driven business. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. We'd like to respond to everyone. You can also reach me at 818-217-1767. Please check out our website, www.alantaylorrealestate.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.